Peace is Damon Stith, president of HAMA, Historical African Martial Arts Association, founder of Guild of the Silent Sword, 1/4 member of Cry Havoc Action Choreography. I have with me to the right,
Tree.
Tree.
No, I'm part of all that stuff as well.
Yeah. So this is my training partner, good friend for many, many years. This is a response video, an action response video to SwordSage piece from Austin, Texas. I love the work that you do, bringing the sword arts from the Gen into the wider scope of YouTube and whatnot. Anyhow, that didn't make any damn sense. I'm going from the top of my head, but just work with me. So about 2 months ago, SwordSage did a video just kind of like asking other martial artists to show how they would respond, how their sword arts would respond to this particular attack. The attacks in question were these overhead cuts. He's coming from a diagonal angle, and he showed some really cool ways that the Jian in Chinese fencing, they would deal with it. So what I wanted to do is kind of show in our context how we would deal with the overhead cuts, both from a vertical standpoint and from these diagonals. And so what we're going to be drawing on is going to be Algerian mafrag. This is stick fighting art practiced in Western Algeria, and it's what we use in Hama for our foundation for reconstructing North African swordplay. At one point in time, it was used for training for the sword, and what we're doing is working to reconstruct that idea. So we're dealing with a stick art, a blade art that became a stick art, and we're trying to go back to understanding it as a blade art. So there may be some things that are not quite applicable, but I digress. Anyhow, so let's start. Okay, so starting off with a vertical overhead coming straight down the middle. Okay. And so we call that cut ras in mafrag. And so typically how we would deal with ras is by raising up the blade, raising up our stick to cover this high line, either from the outside here or from here. So we'll let this truck pass by real quick, and then we will demonstrate what that looks like. Now, the footwork in mafrag is very organic in that we learn movement vocabulary, but not necessarily there's not really set how to move when given a certain attack. There's just more of a movement vocabulary you learn to put into play when you are interacting with someone. So my partner, I'm gonna do a simple fade back for the attack. My partner moves in for the attack, and I'm just gonna match and move back. Okay, once again, as I'm covering. If I go to the other side, go ahead, overhead. Okay, so now that's my first step, is I'm matching and mirroring his step. What we'll do next now, so that we can kind of go from receiving his attack, because typically the way it works in mafrag is one person gives several attacks, and you work on receiving and defending against those attacks. Then you get your chance to give your attack. So now we're going to break from the traditional form of playing and seize the initiative. So instead of me kind of going back and giving space, I'm going to go back and find an angle. Okay, so I'll do that again. So he'll go overhead, and again, instead of me going straight back, overhead again, I'll move off to the side one way, off to the side the other way. Okay, once again, so this is straight back, to the side. To the sides. Now I'm going to ask my partner to pause once I get to the sides real quick, okay? See where we're at. So, here. So now, I'm off to the side here. And then, of course, my response would be to go and counter to the head. Again, I'm at a point where I can make contact. Head's not only the target, I can attack the armor as well. Once again, so I'm here. And so what I'm counting on is that blade being deflected off or passing through. Now, what I can also do is convert this, instead of doing this style here, where it's parallel to the ground, I can angle these down like your A parry or the hanging parry, that you demonstrated earlier. So my partner moves in, and then I get that throw. Okay, again, I'm moving off to the sides, so I'm not receiving attacks. I want to seize that opportunity and come in, right? But how I might practice it, my partner comes in, is going back. We can come and cut the head. This is just me practicing it. This is me off to the sides. Off to the sides, okay? So more of an advanced defense, my partner gives me that attack, and so I deflect by bringing this up. Now, I didn't move my body, which I should, angle myself off, and then I can hit. Throwing it off. This is more of an advanced counter, and you don't see it as much. But I'm moving my body through that pitch. Do that hold a little slower. So I'm glancing off and intercepting it as it's coming down. Now for the diagonal cuts, come at a steep diagonal. Okay. I can still use again that A parry that you were using and counter off. Other side. Or I can use what we call inside-outside sweeps. So my partner gives me that diagonal, I sweep, and I'm back in, same time. And then back in. Okay, so for the overheads, we have these parries that come parallel to the ground. We can also use these angled hanging parries. And then we also have, for the diagonals, these sweeping motions, what we call inside sweeps, to defend against those cuts. Yeah. Anyways, that's about it. Good luck, and hopefully more people will pick up the challenge and demonstrate more. Again, this is like our reconstruction based off of North African stick fighting from Algeria called Al-Nafrag. All right, Damon Sith, and we out.